Open houses. Why do they matter? Well, that depends on if you're a buyer or a seller. My name is Josiah Willis, and today I'm going to share with you the top 10 secrets behind holding the perfect open house in order to maximize interest and to get the highest price offers possible if you're a seller. Now, for you buyers out there, didn't forget about you. I'm going to expose the tricks that experienced listing agents implement to build urgency and to get you to put in a high-priced offer. By the end of the video, sellers will know what to expect from their listing agent, and buyers will be aware of the techniques that listing agents use to create the perfect open house. But before we begin, it's important to stay to the very end of the video because there will be a bonus marketing technique that many experienced agents don't even know about when it comes to marketing open house. This bonus basically allows more visitors to come to your open house. This is going to be really revolutionary and will change the game for open houses. You won't want to miss it, so stay to the end. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's start with the first requirement to host the perfect open house. So number one is staging the house. This is optional, but certainly advised. Homes that are staged tend to sell faster and for more money than homes that aren't. Staging creates an atmosphere of livability when people walk into the house. Other than looking organized, clean, and turnkey, it also gives people a vision of what it could be like to live there. Staging can oftentimes give an emotional attachment to the property as people walk through, and we all know people are emotional, so people buy on emotion. So that's the first one. So step number two, or secret number two, is professional photos. These are a must. It seems so obvious, but oftentimes I see one or two photos of a house on the MLS, and agents are satisfied with that. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. Taking a couple iPhone shots for generating buyer interest is not enough, and it does the seller a huge disservice. So professional photos accentuate the house's features in order to generate interest by prospective buyers. Interested prospective buyers show up to the open houses. More prospective buyers in an open house, the more apparent demand there is between the buyer pool. The more apparent demand, the more urgency, and the greater the likelihood of receiving a higher priced offer. So professional photos plus the right pricing will often get your property trending with the most views and saves on Zillow and Redfin relative to other listed houses in the nearby neighborhood. So that's really key. People want what other people want, just so you know. So number three, or secret number three, the secret is basically choosing the correct time and date. Now this sounds so obvious, but I like to take this a step further than most agents. The time of year from a lighting perspective, the length of the open house, and the time of other open houses in the neighborhood should all factor into the time selection you do for an open house. As an agent, it's best to look up the other listed properties in the communities to pick a time that allows for people to make it to your open house first. Also setting the length of the open house to 2 or 3 hours is better usually than 4 or more hours because it creates urgency if people want to view, and it forces more people through the door at the same time, making demand for the house look greater. That's something that many people don't do is check, many listing agents don't do, is check the neighboring listings around the area to see when their time is so that they can try to get, and how long their open house is so that they can try to generate more demand for their listing. So the psychology behind this often gets interested buyers to put in an offer when they see so many more people at the house. The fourth secret to hosting the perfect open house is putting more than 3 open house signs for viewers to see. I've heard an experienced broker talk about someone who purchased her listing because they saw an open house sign and decided to stop in even though they weren't planning on going touring. The more signage and exposure, the more traffic essentially. So placing 7 to 10 signs at busy intersections and main arterial roads is key to generating foot traffic to the open house. More on exposure is coming up in the bonus at the end, so stay tuned. But the fifth secret is mailing the closest 250 neighbors to the house to invite them to come and see the pricing and inside. This also adds more people who come through the door, creating that stigma of interest once again. But the National Association of Realtors speculates that around 14% of the time, a neighbor buys the property as well. So I like to go even further than mailers and create a Facebook ad to blast to the neighbors to get their attention, since that's where most people spend their time anyway. Most people just throw out their mail. So I know how to actually target people on Facebook through Ads Manager in a certain mile radius. So if you'd like to know more about me using paid advertising on Facebook, you can watch my Facebook ad generation video where I walk through building an ad campaign to show you how to get in front of more people that are already interested in buying or selling real estate based on their interests, behavior, and likes and dislikes and demographics. So it's for another time. Secret 6 isn't really a secret. Offer free food. People love food and drinks, and they love it if it's free. So number 7, I'm moving on. Secret is setting up silent talkers around the house to allow people to visualize living in that house and what that would look like. So silent talkers basically describe different features of each room, maybe bathroom, amenities. This gives people the opportunity to get answers about the features of the house without having to ask the agent if they're a little shyer. So that's the end of Secret 7. So Secret 8, have flyers showing the benefits of the location, the amenities, the house's best features. Whatever it is that's a selling point for the house, it needs to be shown to the world, essentially. So have that in flyers ready and handy at the open house. So secret number 9, use lighting and mood music to set a relaxing and inviting atmosphere for guests. Opening all the curtains and shades helps to allow natural light into the house to make the house seem brighter and more inviting and warm. Music obviously sets the mood, and it gets people in the right mindset as they walk in the house. So secret 10 is following up with the interested parties in order to get feedback on the likes and dislikes of the house. Now, this is important because me as a listing agent, I can give my seller some feedback on why their house may be sitting longer than it should be, or why some people have problems with something that the seller could easily fix. Maybe it's landscaping, whatever it is. So following up with people and gauging the interest is key. Also, having those conversations allows you to say that there are some interested people when someone does call in to actually ask what the interest is and whether or not someone's put an offer in. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's the 10 reasons. But now for the bonus. I'm really excited about this. I'm going to go into this. Thanks for staying tuned. Like I always say, if you stay to the end of my videos, you're much more committed than most people. So congratulations. Now to the bonus. So I'm now going to tell you how to attract even more people to attend an open house to get more interest and demand using the latest in internet marketing. Now, I'm sure all of you have heard of Waze, but if you haven't, Waze is the go-to for GPS apps that takes you where you want to go, essentially, in the most efficient way possible with live time updates, and it uses network effects of many people using the app to show where traffic is heavy and where it's not. So since Waze was purchased by Google for a buttload of money, you can now set up a Waze ad account to target people based on their searching of keywords. I can create an open house ad to target these people while they are using the Waze app. If they see it pop up, they can click it and automatically sets their destination to the open house as opposed to their other destination they had set in their Waze app. So why is this so valuable? Because think about it, guys. Who's using a GPS app? People traveling on the road who are oftentimes unfamiliar with the area or location. Do I smell prospective home buyer? People who may have relocated to Seattle area for work and they need to buy a house. I mean, enough said, right? No, but seriously, if you can target people who are already driving in the area, who fit the behavior of being interested in buying a house, and they can see my open house ad pop up, and they can click it to automatically have them led to the open house, how much more exposure could you want? I mean, essentially that beats out however many signs, like an endless amount of open house signs, because it's directed to these people. These are some of the techniques I use to get my clients the most amount of money for their houses in the least amount of time. So if you're interested in buying or selling real estate, give me a call and I'd be happy to help you. This is Josiah Willis signing off, and always invest wisely, guys. Thank you.